You are now live.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Jared Perry here coming to you live from the Sobey School of Business Development Center. It's a beautiful day here in Halifax. Kelsey, do you want to show them a view?
Woo!
Wonderful, wonderful day outside. We're pretty pumped today to be delivering this session to you about validation and validating your business with key partnerships. And just before we jump into it today, I wanted to introduce myself and tell you a little bit more about myself. I've actually written on this topic before on my blog, so that is thejaredperry.com if you want to check it out. It's a little bit out of date because I haven't updated it lately, but that's I have written a little bit about this topic before, especially key partnerships in regards to validation. So the purpose of today, I'll just start by letting you know a little bit more about myself. I work here at the Sobey School of Business Development Center. I've also validated several different business ideas and gone through the process of identifying key partners before. What we're going to talk today, though, is more about partnerships. So I do work on some startups on the side, and I also have a deep interest in social enterprise and actually in cryptocurrencies as well. So let's jump into it. Today we're going to talk about 3 ways that you can create meaningful partnerships for your startup or for the business that you're currently working with. And the first one, and one of my favorites, is to validate with key partners. To validate your business idea or what you're going through with key partners. And one of the best ways that you can start this is, first of all, by reaching out. So let's say you have a product that you're looking to take to market. You'd look at who the leaders are in that market and how you might be able to validate your idea based off of what they're currently doing. So I'll give you an example. I'm currently working with a few fellow students on a secure payment technology, and we're currently validating this. It's been an ongoing process, and we've been looking for key partners. And what we're doing basically is we're trying to add a layer of security to cryptocurrencies. So if you're using a wallet in cryptocurrencies, there generally can be unsafe, and there can be some other issues surrounding it. With our device, it would make your transactions more safe. So what are we doing to validate it? Well, we're reaching out to all kinds of cryptocurrency companies, all kinds of wallets, and that sort of thing. But recently we decided that we would pivot into banks, because banks provide a much larger market for us, and that we see this as a strategic opportunity if this type of technology can actually go mainstream. So now we are looking at banks as, once again, validating. So when we have conversations with these folks, we're trying to validate our idea to them, and they're a very key partner in actually improving our idea and giving us very valuable feedback into our company and what we're doing. So that's one main way, is just through validation. So once again, that's just reaching out in the community, figuring out who you could align yourselves with potentially, and then going about that and validating your business through those key partners. So that's number 1, and that's my favorite. Number 2 is strategic alliances. And this kind of comes along, well, it's obviously another route for partnership, but it's kind of similar to validating. But with strategic alliances, what you're trying to do is to tie up your values with what other organizations are doing. So last year, for example, when we created the Startup 100, one of the things that we wanted to do was tie into our core values, which was spurring youth entrepreneurship across Nova Scotia, now across Canada and in other nations. But it was originally to spur entrepreneurship in especially rural areas where there weren't supports for youth, like a youth network and like training videos and other things like this. So what we did is we looked for key partners throughout the province. So we found, the government of Nova Scotia was an obvious one. We also found a lot of mentors in rural areas and people who just wanted to contribute here and there to the project, or who were into youth entrepreneurship and wanted to help youth grow their businesses. So that was another way that we could make some strategic alliances. One of the biggest wins that came out of that was that we were able to reach out to many different municipalities and small communities in Nova Scotia. So, for example, the first meeting we had was with the town of New Glasgow, and they were the first community to actually sign up with us and sign on board. And by doing so, they were the first to jump in the program, and then once we were able to go to other communities and say, well, hey, look, New Glasgow is doing this, then a lot of other places also joined on board. And that's a great way that you can start to get some traction with your strategic alliances. And once again, that really ties into having those same core values as the other organizations that you're working with. So those are the first two main points. If there's any questions on those, Kelsey will take them. We'll write them down, and then I can get back to them at the end. And also, if you have any questions as we go through, feel free to reach out to me. And then next, the third way is basically to create strong partnerships is through the business model canvas. And maybe we just want to show them this. Kelsey, what's the best way? Like that. So this is a business model canvas. Some people might have used it before. But basically what the business model canvas does is identifies the main areas that you have to work on in a startup when you're validating your business early on. And if you look over here in the top left corner, you'll see that key partners is a main chunk of this. So the whole idea behind the value proposition and this lean canvas, the business model canvas, is that it shows how your main operations of your business tie into one another. So how does your key partners relate to your key resources? Or how does your value proposition relate to your customer segments, for example? These are all different areas of your business model that can tie into one another. So if we're looking at this and we're saying, okay, who are our key partners? When you make a change to who your key partners are up here, this will be reflected in other areas of the business model canvas as well. So, to give you a quick example, let's say you're starting out with your value proposition, and it's very clear. So if we were to say to the startup, let's use the Startup 100 for example. So if we were to say, what's our value proposition? Well, we offer youth and entrepreneurial students the opportunity to network and to become entrepreneurial leaders. Let's throw that out there. Then who become our customer segments? Well, it's not anyone that's not a youth, right? That's very clear. So it would be a youth. It'd be someone also who is currently a student. So that'd be two main criteria here as an example for your customer segments. And then if we want to look at our key partners, then who would be our key partners to be able to carry through our value proposition, once again, relating to our customer segments. So our value proposition is to help, once again, students become entrepreneurial leaders and to help them start businesses. And they're clearly people who are enrolled in post-secondary, high school, and that meet that age category. So then if we look from there, then our key partners would be identified as people who work with these types of youth or these types of students. So, your teachers, your guidance counselors, your university, your profs, all this kind of stuff. But it could also be other youth organizations where students are enrolled in a post-secondary or a high school level. So that's kind of just a very general overview of how you can certainly identify key partners. I mean, I only use the Startup 100 as an example of the value proposition, the customer segment, and the key partners. But once again, this key partners really just ties into how these people play a key role in how you're going to carry out your value proposition to your customer segments. So that's really all I had for today. I know it's kind of short and sweet, but I wanted to get straight to the point and make sure that we had as much value to you today as possible. So if there's any questions, Kelsey, we can answer that now.
Yeah. So we had one person early on who asked specifically, what is a strategic partnership? And I know you touched on that a little bit later, but do you want to just sum that up for some of the people who are a little confused still?
For sure. Yeah, definitely. So I'd say that a strategic partnership would be a partnership whereby you can leverage. I just got a thumbs up through the window. Whereby you can leverage one strength of an organization with the other. Mm-hmm. So as we mentioned in the Startup 100, we were working towards spurring youth entrepreneurship and within students especially. So how might we be able to partner up with other places that are doing something similar? So for example, last year we partnered with the Students in Business Loan Program, who was already providing loans to students. So we said, hey, great, this is a great collaboration. And therefore it was very strategic because we could help each other accomplish similar goals without reinventing the wheel and recreating the wheel.
Right.
Cool.
And another one is just if individuals are looking to partner with you or to contact you further, what is the best avenue to do so?
Sure. They could send me an email. Probably be the easiest way. So that's my email is jared.perry@smew.ca. So it's jared.perry@smew.ca.
Great. Thank you so much, Jared.
Thanks so much.